Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Preeti and I make content on all things cruelty free. I also cover reviews and I talk about vegan products that are not tested on animals, and I also talk about vegan and cruelty free lifestyle. If this is the kind of content that you might enjoy, then please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and keep watching this video. So in today's video, I'm not going to be reviewing any beauty products, any skincare or hair care products. I actually want to make a more chit-chat video where I talk to you guys about coloring your curly hair. Now, even if you don't have curly, wavy hair, you can still continue watching this video because it's some really useful information that you could probably prepare yourself with before you plan to get any type of hair color, especially bleach done on your hair if you plan to go blonde or honey blonde, and so on. Now, the reason why I'm specifically making this video is because I get a lot of questions on my Instagram DMs where all of you guys always ask me, will coloring damage my hair? What color have you used? Do you have curly hair? Did it affect your hair? So it's becoming a little difficult for me to get back to all of you guys every time. So I thought, why not make a video which I can just link to you guys so you have an in-depth view of the whole coloring and bleaching process and how it will affect your hair. So in this video, I have put everything in points, and that's going to make it easier for me to explain everything. The first point is actually a question that I get a lot. Will color or bleach damage my hair or negatively affect my hair? The answer is yes, it will negatively affect your hair, and I'll tell you why. So the whole bleaching process basically takes off pigment from your hair, right? So if you have black hair like mine, you're going to bleach it and you're going to remove all the pigment and then add more pigment. You're going to add blue color, red color, brown, or whichever color you plan to. Now again, color is another chemical that you're adding onto your hair. So what this does is it causes a protein loss in your hair, and a lot of times you'll notice after you've colored your hair or even bleached your hair, you'll notice that your hair is frizzy and the definition just doesn't come through. This is mainly because the bleach and the color has affected your hair. This is a process that you simply cannot avoid. I don't know why we think that, coloring or bleaching your hair is not going to affect your hair. It doesn't matter if it's a cruelty-free product, organic product, or if it's, free of ammonia. It is going to damage your hair because you're ripping off the color from your hair and adding more color. What's worse is the box dyes that people use, which is way more damaging to your hair. Number two is understanding how light you can go with your hair. So for instance, I colored my hair bleach blonde in 2016-17 and it really damaged my hair, mainly because if you can see, I have pretty thick black hair, and to go bleach blonde, platinum blonde, was really, really difficult. I had to bleach it over and over again, like over different sessions. I did it myself and it took quite some time. So what this did is that with the constant bleaching of the hair, I had to bleach the roots and then I had to tone my hair because it got too brassy when I went swimming and all of that. The constant bleaching for platinum blonde hair on black hair will cause the protein to just vanish away from your hair. It's really going to break and damage your hair. So it's very important to understand how light you can go. Now, if you can't figure out yourself, how light can I go, what is best suited for my hair, go to a hairstylist that is trained in bleaching and coloring the hair blonde. Don't just go to any hairstylist that does the basic browns and the regular copper colors. You need to go to somebody who has played with funky colors and somebody who has definitely used bleach excessively in their hair care and hair coloring. So what your hairstylist is going to do, your hair colorist rather, is going to sit with you and help you understand how light you can go. So for instance, this is the color that is safest for me. Of course, now that I've analyzed it, I can actually go 2 to 3 shades lighter without damaging my hair. But again, I will have to do that much more of deep conditioning treatment so that the protein loss, moisture loss comes back to my hair. There's a proper balance of protein and moisture in my hair and there's no damage. Now you're gonna be like, but hey Preeti, I want to color my hair blue, so I have to color it bleach blonde. I get it, you guys. That is a different hair color process altogether, but understand that it's still going to damage your hair. Bleach is an excellent ingredient for lightening hair, but we need to understand how much we can use for our hair types. Certain hair types are so fine and they're, light brown and they don't need that much of bleach. Sometimes they don't even need bleach for certain hair colors. But if you have hair like mine, you need to understand that it will damage the hair, especially if you have curls. It's definitely going to damage the hair. Third point is how this alters your hair. So now for me, I've always had wavy curly hair and I used to straighten my hair quite a bit. So when I got the bleach blonde hair done, I noticed that my texture completely changed. I no longer had wavy curly hair because all the bonds broke. So my hair was left straight, frizzy, wavy, and I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And then when I researched it, I was like, oh my God, like I've lost my texture. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, especially if you have curly, wavy hair. If you're going to go bleach blonde, or even if you're going to do excessive blonde streaks, you'll notice that those areas are going to be slightly damaged, and you will break bonds, and you will have a protein loss, and you will alter the texture of your hair. This is something that not a lot of hair colorists will tell you. That's why it's important for you guys to know this well in advance, because a lot of times when we get like a blonde highlight done, or blonde streaks, or even ombre or balayage, what happens is that the texture of our hair changes completely. So now from your waves, you have straight hair. If you have straight hair, it's become frizzy, and we don't understand what went wrong, and then you blame the hair color, you blame the bleach. But it's just a process that genuinely and generally happens. Point number 4 is the time that it takes for coloring your hair. So now if you're planning to go blonde, or you're planning to get a balayage like me, it's going to take anywhere between 4 hours to 8 hours. It could also be divided into different sessions. So for instance, you will do a certain layer, lighter today, and then tomorrow or after a week, the hairstylist is going to call you back again to see how the bleach has settled into your hair and how the blonde is now looking without any damage. And accordingly, the next level of bleach is added to your hair to lighten it out. Now, all of this strictly depends on the kind of hair you have, also the type of hairstylist, hair colorist you go to, how experienced they are, because a lot of time, a lot of hair colorists just go ham with the bleach without understanding the effect that it can take on your hair. So you'll go to the hairstylist and be like, listen, I want to go bleach blonde. They won't guide you in the process. They're not going to tell you anything. They'll just be like, okay, fine, give me the photo, I'll do the same thing. And then you're left with really brassy, hair-like hair, and you're sitting there wondering what just went wrong, because I wanted the same hair color that I saw in the photo. This is why the hair color will take some time, because sometimes you need multiple sittings, you need to tone the hair, see how your hair has adapted to that bleach. And even if you're not going to do multiple sittings, and that's perfectly fine as well, depending on your understanding with your hairstylist and how trained your hair colorist is. So my hair color took around 6 to 7 hours. Again, it's not a color, you guys. My hair is bleached. It's a bleach balayage, which is toned later. So there's absolutely no hair color used on my hair, except in the toning phase where a toner is used, and that's about it. So for my hair color, where it took 6 to 7 hours, I wasn't really happy with the outcome of it, because certain patches were really brassy. So I went back to my hair colorist, and then we fixed it. I still wasn't impressed, so I fixed it myself, because I know how to color my hair. It's just with balayage, it gets a little tricky. But I had to lighten it further, and that's okay. See, this is the thing. Different hair types and different areas of your hair react differently to the same bleach, which is why hairstylists and hair colorists take their time to analyze your hair and maybe call you back for another sitting. So be prepared for this. Be prepared for the time that will go into coloring your hair and also after. This brings us to point number 5, which is the maintenance of your colored hair. Now, if you have colored hair or bleached hair, you will notice that after a few washes, the color wears off. So if you have a funky color, you might need to get it redone. But if you have a bleached color like mine, like bleached hair completely, it's going to go brassy. It's going to go really orangish, and it's not going to look that pretty. So you will have to tone it. You can tone it at your house yourself, or you could go back to your stylist, and they generally tone it once every month or once every 2 months, depending on the kind of lifestyle you live, also the number of times you wash your hair. A lot of people feel that after the hair color, that's it, you don't have to do anything else to maintain it, and that's absolutely wrong. That's why you will see a lot of people with like really yellow blonde hair walking the streets, and they don't understand what is going wrong with their hair. So after you have decided to color your hair, you need to also analyze the time that you will have to give back into your hair for maintaining it, the treatments that are needed to bring the protein and all the balance back to your hair, toning of your hair so that the color is maintained. If you don't do that, even after like a beautiful honey blonde highlight, you're going to end up with orange hair after a few months, and you're like, okay, this is just how the hair color is. But you haven't taken that time to maintain the hair color, go back to your stylist, tone it. And that's why people very often give bleach and color a bad name. It's mainly because they haven't taken care of their hair themselves. The next point is about treatment of your hair. So this is after you've colored it, after all the toning. The next few months that follow is where you take extreme precaution and extreme care of your colored hair. So basically, this phase is going to involve a lot of deep conditioning. Olaplex is cruelty free now, you can use that. And you also need to deep condition your hair with oil so that there's no hair loss. Take good supplements like biotin, protein, and also multivitamins. So this way you can easily improve the texture and the growth of your hair, and maybe not reverse the damage, but control the damage that has already been done. So what deep conditioning does is it adds all the moisture back to your hair that has lost moisture due to bleaching, and also protein treatments help to add the protein back to your hair strands and enhance the curls, enhance the texture. If you are at home, I wouldn't recommend any DIYs. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, you probably know I hate DIYs, but I would recommend hair mask from Juicy Chemistry, Quintessential Naturals. You could use the hair conditioner from Fix My Curls as a deep conditioner, and you can also do Olaplex once every 1 or 2 months. That will really improve the protein and moisture balance in your hair, which you have lost through bleach and hair color. Now, if you're not going to be doing any of this, you will be left with brassy hair that is rough, too frizzy, and you probably will blame the hair color, the hairstylist, or the bleach. You know, you're like, oh my god, it ruined my hair. But you haven't taken that time to take care of your hair after you've spent so much money on it, and that's why you have horrible frizzy curls or straight hair that's completely frizzy. Now, this phase also requires money and time, so you have to prepare yourself for this. The cost of hair color does not stop at the hair color. In fact, it starts from there. This brings us to the point of expense. Now, when you color your hair, your expense, like I said before, does not stop only at the hair color. In fact, it starts there because you're going to start toning your hair on a regular basis. You will have to do deep conditioning treatments to prevent moisture loss and bring back the moisture and protein balance in your hair. All of this requires time, money, and effort. So if you're prepared for this, only then get any type of hair color done. I'm not talking about the basic streaks that anybody can get done. It's very low maintenance, but stuff like a balayage where you're, coloring your hair completely, or a global hair color, or even funky hair colors. A lot of money goes into maintenance of these, and that's what you have to prepare yourself for. So a general rule of thumb would be to meet your hairstylist, hair colorist, have an appointment, sit down with them and ask them questions like, how is the toning experience going to be like? What is it going to cost me? Does the hairstylist do Olaplex treatments? Or what are the suggestions that they would recommend for you so that you could increase the shelf life of your hair color and stuff like that. This will really help you understand the total expense that's going to go into your hair color, especially if you're going to do something like mine, something like a balayage or something like a global hair color, something like a red hair color or green. It's a good rule of thumb to ask all of these questions so that you're completely prepared and nothing takes you by surprise. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is box dyes, the ready-made box hair colors that we get in stores. They are not really good for your hair. In fact, when you use box dyes and henna on your hair, you can't go to a hairstylist and ask them to color your hair, mainly because it's going to fry your hair and your hair is going to break off. I am not exaggerating this one bit. You go to any hairstylist and the first thing they're going to ask you, a good one, the first thing that they're going to ask you is, do you do any box dyes or do you do any henna? So say for instance, you have done box dye in the past and now you have at least 4 inches of hair growth that has already happened. It is a very challenging experience for your hair colorist to go in and color those areas without overlapping with the box dye that you already have probably here. And this will cost you more money as well. So if you have any gray hair or if you plan to do any funky hair colors, I would recommend going to a hairstylist, hair colorist and getting it done from there, because they don't use box dyes and they're not that harmful as box dyes are. And once you do a box dye, it's kind of irreversible, you guys, because then you can't really get another hair color done. If the hairstylist doesn't really care about you, they're just going to go ahead and color your hair, and then you're going to be left with extremely damaged hair and you'll probably blame the hair color for it. The last and final tip that you guys need to keep in mind is heat damage to your hair. So after you've colored your hair, or even prior to coloring your hair, if your hair has been styled too much, if you're using too much of straighteners, too much of hair colors, it's really going to mess up the kind of hair texture that you have, and it's also going to alter the color that comes on your hair. Not just that, if you have colored your hair and you continue to do heat damage, it's going to be like a double whammy that you do on your hair. Basically, you've already messed up the protein and moisture balance in your hair by coloring and bleaching it, and now you're going in and you're straightening your hair, you're blow drying your hair. What this is going to do is it's going to completely ruin the texture of your hair. And this is irreversible damage, you guys. There are people who do like the big chop to get rid of all the damaged hair so that they can actually give life back to their hair. Don't put yourself in such a tricky situation. You know, take care of your hair, reduce all the heat damaged on colored hair, especially blonde bleached hair, bleached curls, because these are the more vulnerable hair textures and hair colors. These are all the tips I have for you guys, especially if you're planning to color your hair, or if you've already colored your hair and you're wondering, oh my god, what am I putting myself into? These are all from my personal experience of coloring my hair for over 14 years. I love hair color, I love bleach. Luckily, my hair is in a better position now because I've understood that my hair can take a certain level of color or bleach, and that's kept my hair pretty healthy so far. I really want to point out that this video is by no means trying to throw shade on bleach as an ingredient or even hair color as an ingredient. I think these are excellent products if used in the right way and if you take good aftercare of your hair. So don't get scared with this video that, oh my god, I can probably never color my hair or never bleach my hair. Of course, by all means, go get that done, but understand the expense, time, treatment, maintenance that goes into all of this. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I get this question quite a lot in my DMs and I really wanted to make a video on this. I initially thought I would make an IGTV, but it's so long, so I thought, hey, you know, YouTube's doing pretty good, so maybe I should make one here. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time I put a video. I'm trying to stay on a schedule of Monday and Thursday for videos, so stay tuned for those. Please share this video with your loved ones, guys and girls who want to color their hair. It's really informative and will really help you with how you can go about your whole coloring and bleaching process. All right, you guys, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Till then, take care of your health, take care of your skin, hair, and be good. Catch you guys later. Ciao. Peace. Bye.